Picture. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Thursday live stream, and it's New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year everyone. I'm so glad you could join me today for Thursday's live stream. And I see, just like our Range Rider saying, the gang's all here, right? Andreas and Scott, John Yusei, Lysipis, awesome to see everyone here. Dave Nelson, of course, and Seraphin, Barry. My goodness. Des, good to see you. Season's greetings from New Zealand. Wow. Ah, yeah, it's a new year first. So it's New Year's there now already, isn't it? I thought about starting a little bit later maybe, but then it kind of hit me that, you know, everyone else is going to be celebrating New Year's long before I do, for a lot of you. And then for Randy, it's going to be 3 hours behind me, right? And some others, and Lauren. And Ellie's here. She says Happy New Year. Right? All right, get down. Get down. Come on, get down. Here. I might have to put her out again. She's very distracting. But hello, Scott. Good to see you. Wow, so it's 2021. My goodness. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I know, but I can't help it. I got fur blocking my vision. Like I can see it, like hanging. Ah, having dogs, you know, they're the best. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new year. I know it's just another day, really, but it kind of, like I said, resets your brain into setting new goals and new things to do, and have new expectations, and be grateful for the things that we did accomplish, you know, in 2020 and beyond. And, you know, really, I think one of the greatest things that's happened for me is doing these live streams. And so I can be grateful for that, for 2020, and getting to know a lot of you, at least, you know, as much as you can through a chat system and live streaming. What is it? Get down. You're breaking my train of thought here. I was going to say something profound. Sit. Stay. Yeah, I need hand sanitizer. But then when I rub my eyes, it burns. Yeah, I've done that. Trust me. Oh my God. Now I know. Now I don't know what to talk about. What do you want to talk about? You want a treat? Is that what it is? Oh my God. Jack, you're going to pass. I assume you mean kidney stone? That's rough. Oh my goodness. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, I need a guard fence. Goggles would fit. Yeah, goggles would work, solving the dog hair issue. I did just put some eye drops, and I took some. Oh, I didn't take my allergy medicine. That could be a problem. I totally forgot about that. I thought I was one pill short this morning. You know, as you get older, you start taking more things. I mean, none of it's prescription. It's just, you know, fish oil and probiotics and a multivitamin for people over 50, and then I add on to that vitamin C and an allergy pill, eye drops, and a nasal spray. You know, I didn't really need any of those things before. Really, before I was age 30, I was good. Then after 30, you know, you just start tacking on things you need to kind of keep you going. I didn't even drink coffee really until, yeah, not really until my 30s. Because before that, I was pretty okay without it. I mean, I tried it, and it tastes fine, but I didn't have the need for coffee. But now it's like, I gotta have 2 cups a day. We don't want Rob to look like the elephant man. Oh, no, Rob, we're 1 pill short in 2020, all set for 2021. Awesome. Probiotics are bodies that lost their amateur status. My wife has me talking all kinds of teas and vitamins, yeah. So, yeah, I know. Like, I'm not married, so it's like my mom, right? 50 some years old. My mom's still, this is the last one. Are you going to be all right? This is the last one. Okay, look at me. Look at me. All right. I tried so hard to train her so I could get pictures of her, you know. She could sit and pose. But yeah, it's impossible. She's just too hyper. I'm gonna have to start taking her on long walks, you know, like 5-6 miles at a time. It'll be good for me too, right? They say if you're fat, you're not walking your dog enough. Oh, my Star Trek mug is right here. I don't have the camera wide enough to kind of like capture the whole table, and really you wouldn't want to see my whole table. It's a train wreck. I pulled out my stereo from the 80s. You know, when they were doing component systems a lot. I guess it's kind of coming back, or maybe it never went away. Maybe I just kind of got out of it. I don't have any more. That's it. There's no more treats. All right, get down. She's like, I know where they are. Let's go. You know where they are, don't you? Get down. Go to bed. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. You know, it was a stereo system that I got when I was in high school. It was a Pioneer. And the only thing working left now is the amp and the tuner, AM/FM tuner, and everything's scratchy when I turn the dials and change the selections and try to tune a station. Everything's scratchy, and there's a little bit of hum and hiss. So it's seen better days, you know. But you know, if you ignore the hum, hiss, the static, and all of that, and just crank it up, it sounds good. You know, the speakers still work. So it's a 40-year-old stereo system, and it still works. The tape deck and the record player, you know, they died a long time ago, so those are long gone. So I bought a new record player too, just a cheap $100 one, but it had the basic requirements that I needed, right? You know, I wanted a changeable cartridge and a dust cover. Silly, right? The dust cover is important though, because my last record player didn't have one. All right. Oh my God. You want to go out? What is it? Get down. Go to bed. If she jumps on me one more time, she's going out. It says here, Randy says, my phone got update and the Air A01 will not work now. Oh my God, what, the AA01, isn't that the Olympus camera that you stuck onto your cell phone? That was like a terrible failure, you know, in terms of sales, I think. I don't think anybody bought those things. She's training me, definitely. Hey, Dave, how are you? Happy New Year. I'm going to see if she just gets bored of me like not giving her any attention. Because every time she jumps up, I do something and get her attention. And that's what she wants, is my attention. So maybe if I just ignore her. Yeah, it's just a gimmick. But still, right? You know, some of us live for that. You know, we like all these gadgets. And they come in handy sometimes. Like, I got a little Bluetooth receiver. So I could plug in, it'll plug the receiver into my old 1981-82 stereo amp, and then I can say, Alexa, play something, and now it plays through my amplifier. You know, I haven't touched it in a year, right? My nephew got it for me as a gift. And I said, oh, this is awesome. I'll find a use for this, right? And sure enough, you know, a little over a year later, I got a use for it now. Now that I plugged in my old, I haven't turned on that amplifier in probably 20 years. It's been sitting on my shelf downstairs forever, you know. If photo manufacturers never tried new things, we'd all have Kodak brownies. Absolutely. And Randy said, I'm a geek. I like to play with gadgets. Yeah, I got all kinds of gadgets. Just stuff, you know. I'm more of a toy gadget kind of guy, though, right? Like, if it's kind of a neat little toy, I'll get it. You know, like my pyramid. I love this thing. The Mystic Pyramid, you know, predicts your future. Maybe it'll scare Ellie. Let's see.
Ill winds are blowing.
Nope, she's just sniffing it. All right, let's ask the Mystic Pyramid what, how 2020 is going to be. So, Mystic Pyramid, how does 2021 look? Uh-oh.
Time to explore other alternatives.
Time to explore other alternatives. Okay. So yeah, I guess as a jumping off point from that, maybe what should I do with my channel in 2021? You know, I was thinking about maybe cutting the live streams back a little bit, and then going back to doing more videos, right? Like either tutorials or photo walks or I don't know, anything really, because like today was supposed to rain, and it was like, it's still not raining right now where I am. I could have went out and did something, right? But I said, no, let me, I don't know, I'll just listen to my old music or something and then get ready for the live stream. God, I've listened to records I haven't listened to in 30 years. I just can't believe how bad my taste is. And then I thought about the days when I bought these albums. You know, I would buy an entire album just to get one song, right? And we don't have to do that anymore in the modern age. You know, you just have whatever streaming service. But, you know, like who remembers Joe Walsh, okay? If anybody knows Joe Walsh and what song he's known for, just curious. I bought his whole album just for that one song. I haven't played it yet since probably I bought it. But anyway, and Phil, hi John, how are you? Good you can make it. And Phil says, and Jose, good to see you. Phil says, I have an idea. You could do more picture critiques from people that send in done pictures. Ah, okay. I'm really the last person to ask about critiquing images. I'm better at like making suggestions for camera settings for a particular scene. And then maybe some minor composition tips, you know, the standard stuff. But sometimes, you know, I'll see an image and I'll just say, man, that's amazing. Or sometimes I'll look at it and I'll say, well, you could, if you'd have moved over to the left a little bit, and then they'll say, well, there was a cliff to the left of me, so I couldn't move any further. So since I'm not there actually on site taking the picture, it's hard for me to criticize your composition, right? Because I wasn't there. I don't know what you had to do to get that picture. You know, some pictures, like, you know, are obvious where you were going for something and you're missing some elements, or you're slightly off, or you capture too much. Because a lot of images I see in my photo editing stream, most of the problems that I have with the images is the composition. There's either too much information in the image or not enough. Like there's no subject, right? It's just some scenes of patterns or lines. And you know, so some very basic critiques like that I could probably give, but I don't really have an eye for those kind of things. And Dave says, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to miss. Dave Nelson says, Rob never shows video of his 4-level photo equipment graveyard below the, oh my God. You know, I think I have most of my photo gear. Well, that's a lie. I do have tons of crap downstairs. Mostly film and old digital like Nikon D40, Nikon D80, my old Fujifilm compacts, and all kinds of stuff that I did in the late 90s, where I just wanted a camera to take pictures of, just for memories, right? I wasn't trying to be, you know, all fancy about my photography. I just wanted to take a picture so I have that memory. And ironically, maybe not ironically, but those are the only pictures I really care about in my entire collection of tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 photos, are actually the ones from way back before, when I only took pictures just so I could remember where I was or the people I was with. And I'd say 99% of the photos I take now are just me trying to improve my photography skill and take better pictures, understand exposure, very geeky kind of stuff, right? But if I deleted them all, because I'm not like fancy like who's another YouTuber? What's his name? I can never remember his name. I just watched his video this morning. What was it? The landscape guy, you know? Why do I always forget his name? Nigel? Is it not? It's not Nigel. But he bought a Mitsubishi van, and his video that he put out was about how, you know, 2020 messed up his photography, and he's not excited like he used to be to take pictures of everything. He just wants to take pictures, like epic pictures. But he sells calendars and books and things, right? My photography is not at a level where I can put a calendar or book together and people would want to buy it, right? Because you guys take much better pictures than I do. My photography is more professional, right? And with respect to, I do real estate photography, and I try to do my very best with that. And you learn a lot about photography doing that kind of photography, at least on the technical side, you know, setting up lighting and somewhat composition, but mostly dealing with lines and balance, right? When you do architectural type photography, you don't want the picture to be heavy on one side. You don't want to miss corners or lines in the corners. You know, you have to lead the person's eye into the room or into the building. And with lighting, you know, you have to use flash and ambient light. A lot of times you have to blend those things together. So a lot of my photography skill set I developed because I had to, you know, I wanted to make a living doing it, right? And it turns out that all of these skills you can apply to almost any kind of photography, but not so much landscapes, right? So I'm not really a big landscape photographer. Sports action, those are different skill sets altogether. But you know, lots of other types. Macro photography, I can use a lot of the skills I learned in real estate for that. You know, macro and product photography. Those are very, very closely related to real estate photography, and then general street photography as well, right? But let me go up. Phil was giving me some ideas here. I need to scroll back up to that where I left off. I thought I saw a second line from Phil. Oh, he just said kind of what you do when we send you pictures in to edit. Maybe. And Des says, anyone see the 2021 predictions from DP Review and I didn't watch the ones from Tony and Chelsea yet. I did watch DP Review. All right, she's got to go. Let's go. I can't concentrate. Let's go. Come on. You act like you don't want to go, but you gotta go. Man, she's a mess. I better... She is a mess. I got so much hair on me now. And she's got mud on her paws. Maybe it started raining. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I only really paid attention to the one about Olympus from DP Review, and Chris was saying that he thinks they'll come out with like a token camera and maybe a lens just to show that, you know, they're still going to be continuing business, and then he thinks it's going to go away after that. I mean, everybody says the same thing, right? We hope for the best, you know, but expect the worst. That's what I keep hearing, and then of course nobody knows, right? And that's the real answer, is nobody really knows what they're going to do. Because even if they plan to do everything that we would want, you know, come out with new cameras and lenses and innovations, right, that we all want to see, and improvements in our cameras, the market's going to dictate what they're going to do. Market and profitability. So, you know, in my lifetime, I've never seen anything like 2020. And I think that's really showed me that you can't plan for really those kinds of events, right? Who knows what's going to happen in 2021? Hopefully everything is great, you know, but I was really hoping 2020 would be my year where I really grow both personally and professionally. And I would say I haven't gone backwards, but definitely didn't accomplish anywhere near as much as I had hoped in 2020. So I hope 2021 that, you know, I can really expand and grow personally and professionally in 2021. Because, you know, God, we were thinking back in, you know, February, March, oh, this will blow over in a few weeks, you know, we'll lock down for a couple of weeks and then things will be back to normal. And that turned into months, and then here it is, 2021, and we're still dealing with this, you know. So I really don't know what to say about what's going to happen with Olympus in 2021. I just know that I'm very content with the gear that I have, and I can continue, you know, with that gear for the foreseeable future. And if they do come out with more things, great. If they come out with things I need, even better. If not, you know, there's the used market, secondhand market, that I can get what I need if I need to get it. Because they already have, you know, it's a very mature system. Anyhow, let me see if I can catch... your son loves Ellie, huh, Des? I'm sorry I had to throw her out. And if photo manufacturer... Okay, I'm going back to where I left off here. Happy New Year from Ireland, Alec. Thank you for coming in today. And I really try not to miss any questions or comments. If I don't mention your comment, I probably read it, but if you had a question and I don't answer it, I probably missed it. And Thomas is saying, do 30% live stream, 30% photo walk, 30% tutorials. Yeah. So that would be like, if I'm doing 3 days a week on YouTube, right? So I could do one photo stream, one photo walk, and one tutorial a week instead of doing 3 photos or 3 live streams a week. That's a thought. And I have to squeeze in a little room for some product reviews too, right? Which would, I guess, overlap on the tutorials. And Dave says, videos of photo walk showing us how to use various functions of camera stacking, macro focusing would be awesome. Yeah, I could do that. Joe Walsh rocks. Wow, somebody knows Joe Walsh. Yep, absolutely. David, oh my God, David got it. Life's been good. That's right. So that I thought that was like an appropriate song. Because really, I mean, everything that's happened, you know, because there's been some hard things, right? A lot of you have already experienced a lot of the things that I went through, you know, losing your dad, you know, passing away and things. But it's still fresh, right? For me. And that was hard. That was hard, but, you know, so, but these are normal things that happen in life. You really have to move on and be grateful that, you know, for what you do have, right? Thank you, David. Thomas Heaton. That is the one. And judging is tough. It is tough. Yeah, I know, because you got to judge photos from every photo walk, right, David? David Crook runs our local photography club. And he, whenever after the photo walk, we upload our images to the, you know, the club's meetup page. And then he has to pick a winner based on the theme that he sets. And he always cracks me up with his themes, though. You know, I just never know what to expect. You know, we go to a Great Falls where they have nothing but waterfalls there, and then he puts the theme as red or something. Or no, the theme was orange. And I'm like, we're going to a waterfall park. Why is the theme oranges? Anyway, but that's good. It gets you thinking, though, like, what the heck could you take a picture of? I think I won that one, actually. Come to think of it, I did win that one. I lose most of them. In fact, I think that's the only one I've won out of all the photo walks I've been on. Was one of my waterfall pictures, because it had a little splash of orange in the back from some tree or something. And yep, Barry got it. Life's been good. Full version, of course, yes. And Phil says, I learn the most when you use examples and you have a lot of knowledge and how the better may work. Yeah, definitely practical applications of the photos, or of the features that our cameras have. That's definitely something I want to do more of. I think of them all the time when I'm sitting down. I say, oh, this would make a great video. And it's not even until you know, somebody else asked me, can you do a video on this? I'm like, oh yeah, I can do a video. I've been thinking about it anyway. I don't know why I don't want to say it's lazy, but like I had an idea yesterday for a video, and I said, oh, I should get up this morning and do it. You know, that would be kind of a neat little video. Like that video I did on, it's a very, the last video I did was about how to program the record button to be the shutter button, right? And, you know, I was thinking about doing a video on that. Then somebody asked me, can you do a video on that? And I said, okay, I can do a video, because it's something I use myself. And then it was something related to that. But there's lots of little things that I do professionally, right? My workflow that I think you could apply to you know, all kinds of photography. So I could give some good examples. And let's see. And David Talon says he likes my photo walks because of my explanations of composition. Yeah, I definitely need to do a photo walk and think more out loud, because after editing probably thousands of pictures now over the past year, I don't know how many it's been, but it's like, you know, I get about 20 pictures every stream 3 times a week over a course of a year. Could be like 1,000 images, you know, in addition to my own personal collection, right? But I definitely see, I definitely is training my eye. When I do those editing videos, it helps me a lot too, right? Practicing and developing an eye for things. Because when you take your own pictures, you know, you kind of skim through them and just delete them or whatever, and then you have one or two keepers, right? And you don't care about the ones that you took sometimes. You know, if you get lazy about photography, otherwise, you know, if you go out with a project or a mission or an intent, you might take a little more care about your photography. But a lot of times on the photo walks, I'll take lots of pictures and just have a few keepers. But when people send me an image to edit, you know, I have to really think, how can I compose this image in a way, you know, if I was there, what would I have done? How would I, what settings would I have used that are different than what the person chose? And I'm really anxious to see when I go out next time with a digital camera anyway, what I would do, or not what I would do, but I can talk out loud a little bit more. I think a little more, it's ironic. I'm trying to think of the word of how to articulate and, or how to word that word, how to articulate my thoughts better while I'm taking pictures. I think hopefully I'll be better at that going forward in my photo walks because of the photo editing live streams. And Dave Nelson, yes, Thomas Heaton, thank you. Thank you. I keep forgetting his name. But he had a, you know, he's really good. That video, if you watch the video about, I think the title's something like 2020 messed up my photography or something along those lines. Just watch it and you know, his production is great. His videos are great, right? But when I watch it as a, you know, vlogger myself, right? I look at all the B-roll he's doing and how much work he puts into it for really simply for the aesthetics of the video, right? Not the aesthetics, but the flow and the storytelling part, that he's going out to take pictures. And that's all he's doing. He's going out and taking pictures, but he really makes it into a really very interesting story about how he's driving out, and he shows his van driving, and then he shows his van pulling into it. When you watch it, he's all by himself. Watch how many times he had to set the camera up, drive back down the road and come back, you know? Or how many times he moved the camera when he's sitting in one place. Like he's taking a picture of this moss or mold growing on a tree trunk or something, and he must have moved the camera at least 6 times, showing you a different point of view. And every time he had to get up and walk 6 feet, 2 meters, 10 meters to get that angle and continue recording, and then go into post-processing and put all that back together, and then eventually deliver a video that feels very fluid, right? Like it doesn't feel like there was a ton of work to do that video, but he's working really freaking hard. Let me tell you, to produce the kind of videos that he does, it's not a small thing what he does. And of course the end result is really good, but I can't picture myself doing that, you know? Like I'm taking a picture, and then I want to set the camera up over there of me taking a picture to record me taking the picture, then move it over here, watching me change the settings, then move it over here, watching me take a lens out of the bag, then move the camera over. You know, it's like, it just, he's going all over the place, then setting up the camera, then driving away, then coming back. There's so much work involved in his production for being a one-man shop that and then he cuts it and edits it back all together in just a terrific, really very fluid, very enjoyable, pleasant video to watch. And he's also a very good talker, right? He can just articulate things much better than I can and talk about it, because everything he said in that video I've thought myself, right? And I'm sure you have as well. But he's able to articulate it in a way on screen and just and just, you know, in a way that you agree and say, yes, that's true. I didn't think of that, but you're right. And that's really the magic of Thomas Heaton. Never mind his photography is epic, you know. Because who else would just go out and take a picture of some mold on a log? I've done that 1,000 times, but it doesn't look like Thomas Heaton, you know, a photo. His is epic, and then mine looks like just some mold on a log. It's very reminiscent of a video I made called The Most Important Thing in Photography. So if you guys have not seen that video yet, that I made, The Most Important Thing in the Photography, I'd say that's one of my favorite videos, personally. That one and the other one where I went to the diner on a photo walk. Those two are like my personal favorites of my own videos. And that, but you know, what was I doing? You know, in both those videos I was telling a story, right? And they didn't get a ton of hits. I think they only got a couple thousand views, right? It's not like Thomas Heaton, he gets a couple thousand views an hour. But you know, those are my personal favorites. And okay, let's get past Thomas Heaton here. His last video was actually quite depressing. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was depressing. I mean, I guess I'm looking at it from a different perspective, right? Because I'm a vlogger myself. But I was a little surprised when he said something like, when he started photography, he used to be excited to take pictures of everything, and now it's like he only likes to go out when it's perfect, right? He's like on that other side of going for perfection, I guess. I don't know if those were the exact words he used. But still, I think I didn't get a negative or depressing message from it. I got the message that he wants to grow and expand and do other types of photography, which, you know, I'd be excited to see how he does, right? Like if I tried to go out and do like sports action photography, oh my God, you know, that would be new and exciting, right? Because that's not something I do. Simon Baxter. That's a name I never heard of. You think he's better than Thomas Heaton? Let's let me look him up real quick. I always like to find new channels. Yeah, I've never seen him before. We'll subscribe. Excuse me. Wow. Interesting. I like his little oh, he does okay. 68,000 views. 100,000 views. Oh, that's Henry. He's doing okay with 57K. Professional landscape photographer. Wow, that's all we need is another British photographer, but British landscape photographer. God, there's so many, right? But yeah, his work looks really good. Just a little bit I'm seeing here. He goes out in the woods and takes pictures, just like Thomas Heaton. I'll check him out. I used to do critiques with my meetup. Oh, okay. That's David Crooks. And Happy New Year, Macroverse. Good to see you. That's it's Casper from Macroverse. The Macroverse is actually the name of his Facebook group. He does macro photography, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen. Yeah, Ellie got shunned. Oh my God, I'm 20 minutes behind on the chat. That's crazy. I gotta work faster. I need a dog vacuum. I got one of those tape rulers. things. My nose is starting to itch now. If Olympus JIP come up with a new usable real-world improvisations, they can still make it. Yes. And plus Meg the Wonder Dog. Wow, Simon Baxter brings his dog with him, huh? That's cool. I'd do that, but I can't manage Ellie on a leash. I'm so bad. And Macrofer says he's already photographing fireworks. Best day for live comp, yes. Oh, thank you, Jose. My tutorials are great. Thank you, Macroverse. And Rick, hi, Rick, how are you? Happy New Year. Good evening, all from Farnborough in the southeast England. Looks like Ellie will be taking over. Oh my God, I know. She's a handful. Scott Munford says, maybe a dumb question. What is the best and safest way to clean lens and viewfinder? I've heard alcohol can be used. Yeah, rubbing alcohol. But I don't know, to be honest. If you ask me how I clean my lenses, doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that's the best way. But there are, I think, Leica or somebody, David Crooks knows. There's these little wipes that he buys, lens wipes, that are made by Leica, I think, that he uses, and that works great. He lent me one to clean one of my lenses because it had a spot on it that would not come off with just a regular microfiber. And he gave me that lens cloth, and that took that spot off like that. Now, it smelled like rubbing alcohol to me when I smelled it. But that's worked for me. Like I said, I don't know if that's the best way or not. The viewfinder, I just, a Q-tip with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it will clean that right up, and then maybe with some distilled water to clean it after you did the rubbing alcohol, just to get rid of any streaks. Or very diluted rubbing alcohol, like mix out that with a little bit of water and clean the viewfinder with a Q-tip. That works. And then I also use, just to clean the camera in general, I just use a dry toothbrush. This one's starting to get dirty, but man, this is really good at getting inside those little nooks and crannies between the buttons and stuff. I use that. I don't clean the lens with it. I just the body of the camera. And then a blower, right, to get all the dust out. And one way to look at 2020, we're still not in World War II. We're not in the 1930s level recession. There's no plague, Black Plague, and we're still 99% have food to eat and a roof over us. Yes. I mean, overall, I guess, from a personal standpoint, things haven't been horrible. It's not like a war, And there's a lot of places you go in the world and they have it much harder all the time, pandemic or not, right? So, I can be very grateful that I live in a place where I can still do pretty much what I want to do, right? Without being tied to any kind of, or worried about any kind of issues or, any kind of problems. I don't know how else to put it. So far. We never know what 2021 will bring. I've had a few scares, but nothing like people that live with it day to day, So, and Jeff says live streams are my favorite. Oh, okay. And Dave says, great outlook, Dave. Oh, that's for Scott, yeah. And Jose says, I'm looking back at your OMD M1 Mark II tutorials and they're outstanding. Wow, thank you, Jose. And David Crook says, I've been looking for the alternative lyrics to that song that used to play on the radio. I think the album that I have is the original lyrics, I think. But I don't think I've listened to that song since the 80s. Because that's the original LP, you know, from when Tower Records used to be a thing. Which was it's a store here in the United States that used to sell nothing but records. And you're just hiding from the party, New Year party. I didn't get invited to any parties this year. Yeah, Thomas Heaton is awesome, Jose. I agree 100%. He really is. But he has a really a lot of patience. And I did a video a couple of years ago where I said I'm not there yet, where I can just drive for hours, hike for hours, and take one picture. You know, but that's what he does. I mean, he probably takes many pictures, but he has a very singular purpose when he goes out. You know, certain weather conditions, a certain location, certain mood, whatever, you know, whatever he puts into his thought process to take a picture, he already has it all planned out. And oh, sorry, my mom. Hello? Yeah.
Hey, Robert, would you please, I couldn't find the one you printed out for my dentist and my eye, places and Aetna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you please print it? And I'm on the way out. In about 30 minutes, I can pick it up.
Oh, you know, I'm right in the middle of something. I'm not going to be free until 5 or 6 o'clock. Oh, all right. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. You know what's funny is she calls me constantly, and then she tells me she can never get a hold of me. I'm like, anyway, I love my mom. What can I say? And another vote from Dave Nelson for Simon Baxter. Okay. And Epson makes nice videos. Never heard of them. And John, another vote for Simon Baxter. How come I never heard of him? Everybody knows him. Except me. Ah, yes, isopropyl alcohol. Thank you, Chuck. Chuck is saying don't use rubbing alcohol as it may contain oils. Use isopropyl. So, where's my bottle? I have a bottle of it here. Let me see. I better check mine. Hold on. This says 91% isopropyl. Active ingredient is, yeah, 91% isopropyl. But what's the inactive ingredient? It says here, I can't read. Purified water. So this is just water and alcohol. So there's no oils in it. I got this for like $1. And I use it to clean things time to time. With Q-tips. They're called Zeiss wipes. Thank you, Jeff and John and David. Yeah, Zeiss lens wipes. Those are the wipes that David lent me one, and it worked great. And Thomas Zazowska says, of all people, the angry photographer has good vids on cleaning lenses. Yes. In fact, I think that's where I watched his video where he does some concentric circles to clean the lenses and goes around. I'm not doing that. And he says, don't use microfiber cloth. So he definitely appears to know his stuff, but always cross-reference that with a qualified source, right? Because you don't want to be one of those people that say, yeah, it's true because I saw it on the internet. Especially that guy, angry photographer. Or me, right? Just because I say something, don't go out and say it's true. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, just double check. Always double check everything. That's one area that, the owner's manuals and things like that are very lax on. They don't really talk about how to clean things in the owner's manual. They might say just use a dry white cloth or, very, very conservative ways to clean something. But sometimes when you got to clean something, you need a little more power to clean it. And you won't get any advice from anybody how to do it, because they're all worried about the liability and all of that. And potentially you might damage something because, you tell somebody to do something and they take an inch and they go a mile, right? They just go overboard with whatever recommendation you make. So you have to be extremely conservative a lot of times when you give advice or recommendations, especially when it's dealing with very sensitive equipment like a camera and lens. And Rick Bear says, identifying failure criteria so we can understand why something doesn't work can be as valuable as trying to find the rules for creating great pictures. Try to identify what makes pictures fail. Well, that's an interesting idea. And Stephen Page, hello, says, I think once you learned how to set up your camera up, you should be able to go out on any day, weather, or most light conditions, and still get a shot you like. Yes. I think it's kind of a balance between what kind of pictures do you like to take versus can you get a good shot. So it's a little bit of a balance there. And I think Thomas Heaton said something to that effect, like, I can't remember. He said something to that effect, though. He's too picky about the pictures he takes, I think. Something like that. Yeah, dry paintbrush in the EVF or earbud in a lens microcloth. Yep. Paintbrushes are really good. I keep those handy too to clean everything. I keep one in my car to clean all the little vents and everything and buttons and dials on the dash. And I use a brush to kind of just brush off dust off things in the house. Dave Nelson, Tower Records, rest in peace. Used to be my go-to place, yeah. And Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Oh my God. I'm going to get demonetized now if YouTube hears that. Yeah, but that's my new ringtone. I used to have Marvin Gaye. But it just seemed weird to have Marvin Gaye playing when my mom is mostly the one calling me. So I thought, Sweet Child of Mine, so I can think of myself as, her sweet child. Dave Nelson has submitted a smoking picture. Dave Nelson's kind of a closet pyromaniac. Oh, yes, Seraphin, you should go. You should go to that brewery and get some great shots. Definitely. And Chuck is asking, will alcohol take or affect any lens coating? I think you really Need to be desperate to clean a lens. Most stuff on front object will not show up. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, what effect alcohol might have on a lens. But the Zeiss lens wipes, when I open it, it smells exactly like this, rubbing alcohol, which, yeah, it smells just like this. So it should be okay. If Zeiss has a lens wipe, you know. And Jose says, I use a cloth I get from my eyeglass provider. Very safe. And John Allen says, no microfiber cloths. They are abrasive. I think especially after you use them once or twice, you know, any kind of abrasive material, dust is abrasive, gets stuck in the microcloth, and then you continue to wipe your lens with that, and you can see scratches from the microfiber cloth, definitely. Take a look at Epson Helen videos. All right, I'm going to check it out. Epson Helen. Let me go back to YouTube. So here's Epson Helen. We'll subscribe there. 122 videos. Oh, you know, I think I've seen this guy before. This squirrel. Does he have an Instagram? I think I've seen his Instagram. I didn't know he had a channel. Wow, another Olympus user. No kidding. We're all over the place, aren't we? Huh. Yeah, I'll definitely check him out. Oh, I did see that. John Follow says you must watch Thomas Heaton with his Fuji GX617 panorama camera on a mountain. Yeah, I saw that one. I remember that. Or I saw one of them. If he's made more, I haven't seen any more. But yeah, I'll have to watch that again, or in addition to. Learn more from failure than from success. Yep. And Jeff Painter says dilute IPA, which is isopropyl alcohol, with 25% distilled water. I use it to clean Panavision lenses a long time ago as a camera assistant on movies. Oh, okay. Well, there's somebody that would know, right? A professional. Ah, the Go juice must be cold. It is. It's room temperature now. And camel hair brushes for lenses. Oh yeah, that's true. I've heard that before. Rick says, a professional photographer friend says he cleans his lenses with neat alcohol. It's true. I've often seen him spit on his lenses. Oof. There are some things that just, I don't know why they bother me, but spitting is one. I'm not a big fan of that. I never spit, personally, and when I see it, it just, I don't know. I mean, I don't say anything because it's your business if you want to spit. I don't really care about that part of it, but I don't want to see it. You know, that, and then people throwing up on TV. Television, they got to stop showing people throw up on TV. I hate that. I'd rather see somebody's head get chopped off than somebody throwing up. You know, it just, I don't know why that grosses me out. Yeah, John Yutza says, eyeglass microfiber cloths are okay, but you have to wash them regularly. Yes. And Randy just uses breath to clean with some cloth. In the camera shop, Roman says, in the camera shop, they told me not to use any alcohol in the lens because it's too aggressive and destroys the coating. I mean, that could be true, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Somebody has to research that and give a definitive answer, if they can find one. I mean, I just don't know. And Randy says, Espen Helland is awesome. Helped me a lot with birding and wildlife. Wow, I've never heard of him. And Thomas Zazowska says, Nick Page, a U.S. landscape photographer, says he takes many pics I've seen, assuming that at least one will be good, whereas he say Thomas Eaton invests all his energy in just 1 or 2 shots. Yeah, I agree. Thomas Eaton really puts a lot of work into, and you know, I can see it in his video production, I should say. He puts a lot of work into that just to make a very fluid storytelling video. And he's probably doing that half-assed compared to his own photography, because his photography, he's really focused. Ellie Rothney is great. I think I know Ellie Rothney. Let me look real quick. God, there's so many good people online. It amazes me anybody watches me at all. I don't see nothing. Nothing's coming up. There is another woman photographer. Assuming it's a woman, I don't know. Ellie could be one of those names that could go either way, I guess. But I am following her, but her videos aren't coming up because I haven't watched a lot from her lately. Marsha, Happy New Year. And Randy says, there are many out there with film too, yes. Roman says, I'm afraid to clean my lens because I don't want to scratch them. That's why I hear most of the pics get the remark, you should have cleaned your lens. That's true. I can't tell you how many times Roman has sent a picture into my photo editing, and I'm like, man, you need to clean your lens because it's obvious the lens is dirty. Just buy kit lenses, then you'll be all right. And once you've cleaned them so much that it's actually starting to show scratches, you can buy another one. And that's going to take a while, I would assume. And for the records, I use isopropyl alcohol, tiny bit of dishwasher, and distilled water. Wow. And Dave Nelson said, one reason we watch you is that you have drawn a strange, deranged crowd we identify with. Yeah. It's true, though, you know, with any channel, you know, you're drawn to some channels more than others. And there's a lot of great channels. Like, I forget his name. I think it's Derek Forrest. You know, he has an awesome channel and a great community of people that follow him. I know a lot of you follow him. But I can't watch his channel. I have no complaints about his content or the information he's sharing, but his delivery just, for me, goes in one ear and out the other. It's like I just can't watch it, you know? And then there's other channels that, like, I think that Thomas Heaton, for example, I've been talking about him for about an hour now. I love his channel. I love it. You know, I'm not even a landscape photographer. You know, there's not that many landscape photos in my portfolio. But I watch his channel. I just love it. And, you know, and then everyone else that I follow. But, oh, thank you. Let me show this. This is Jose Ellie Jose tried to post a link, but it didn't show, so I'll post it here. So here's our website that I just posted a link to. Wow, nice. Look at this crazy bird. And this elephant. Man, that's beautiful. Really nice. Look at that. Yeah, very nice, Ali. Good job. Derek Force. Thank you, Derek. Did I say it backwards? What did I call him? Derek Forrest or something? Oh yeah, Derek Force. Nah. Randy says, you saw a vid where a guy scratched his lens with sandpaper and made no difference in the picture. Yeah, I don't recommend anybody do that though. A better question would be, what's the best way to stop our lenses getting dirty? As an extreme photographer, stopping my kit getting dirty is more important than retrospective cleaning. Yes, that is the question. And Randy says, I like Derek for his photography. Yeah, like I said, he takes great pictures, and you know, the information that he was delving out was great, but I can't watch it. Sorry, Derek, if you're watching my stream. I'm not discouraging anybody from your channel. I encourage you to go check out Derek Force and watch his channel and see and gather any information you can from him as well. But I can't. Roman says, I cannot watch the fat bald guy. I watch some of his stuff, but it's annoying. Yeah, I know what you mean. I used to watch him back when I was shooting Nikon, you know, and he only had a handful of subscribers. You know, funny thing though, the Angry Photographer, you know how I found his channel? It had nothing to do with photography, Roman. And this goes back to what you do for a living, right? Your degree in physics. But I was looking up something physics related with magnets and magnetism. I was just curious about something at the time. I can't remember what it was. And one of his videos came up. And so I went and looked at his channel, and he had all these videos on Nikon lenses. I was like, well, I'm a Nikon shooter, you know? What are the odds of that? But I didn't find Angry Photographer because of photography. I found him because I was looking for something on physics and magnetics. Dave says, Rob, I'll stop after this, but will you like Simon? You will like Simon Baxter, I predict. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I will. And Jeff Painter says, how about a Zoom session sometime so you can see all our ugly faces? That would be awesome. I would probably use Google Hangouts, but I thought about doing that maybe like behind a paywall. I mean, it'd be like $1 for a month or something. You know, I don't know what to do. I want to monetize the channel a little bit more, but in a way that makes sense. You know, nobody's going to pay me $1 for the videos I do. I mean, I'm happy enough just the few pennies I make off the ad revenue. But for me, you know, I want to set up a membership and maybe offer like one-on-one, like 30 minutes or something, or maybe like doing a group call, because I think Joe Edelman does that. I watch Joe Edelman's channel because he gives really a lot of great information, but I'm not a portrait photographer. But he does talk a lot about lighting and things, and he knows his stuff and he knows business. So I watch his channel sometimes just to get business ideas about how to monetize the work that I do, the little bit, you know, the little bit that I do. And he does individual tutoring. He does the group sessions where he'll have 7 or 8 people on a Zoom call and answer questions. And then he does live, you know, until the pandemic hit, but he used to go out and do live presentations, workshops, all kinds of things, right? Which I can probably do about 50% of those things competently, but I just never got around to it. Arthur, Happy New Year. I'm glad you could make it. And John Langford says, love the black and white of the line. Yeah, that was a very crispy image there. But yeah, Jeff, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a few Zoom call or conference type videos, like during the live stream, and not charge anything for that, right? Not make that a paywall thing, but just do that for fun. But I'm trying to think of a way to professionally do something. I mean, most of you don't need my help, you know, except once in a while you can come in the stream and ask me, oh, where's the button for this, right? Yeah, I can help you. But most of you don't really need my help. I would learn more from you than you would ever learn from me. But there's a lot of people just starting out, right? You know, my most popular video to date, even now, is best settings for beginners on the EM10 Mark II. That video still gets more views every month than every other video I ever make. It's just shocking. I think it's up well over 100,000 views or something. Let me see where it's at. So that tells me there's still a lot of like really beginner, like don't even know how to format a memory card type beginner, right? I go to my own channel. But if I do videos and then sort by most popular, best settings for EM10 Mark II. Okay, wow, I thought it was more than 2 years old. EM10 Mark II, EM10 Mark II, waterfalls, histogram, 3 years old. This is actually closer to 4 years old, because I did that video. So this is off by 1 year. You know, it's like, these are all, but yeah, by far, this one here. And so, I don't know. Maybe there's something for me to do there to help people more and make money at it. Not that money is motivating factor for me, because it wouldn't be like I'd be charging $75 an hour to somebody. I might just say, you know, buy me a coffee or make a donation, whatever you think my time was worth, you know, or whatever you can afford, doesn't matter. Pay me $0. I might do something like that where I'll say, I'm going to set up like 30-minute, 1 hour Zoom calls face to face over, you know, video conferencing. And then you just make a donation if you want to buy me a coffee or to my PayPal, whatever you felt that time was, whatever that time was worth to you or whatever you can afford. Because sometimes people can't, you know, they can't pay $75 an hour, right? Their significant other would kill them first before they'd let them spend $75 an hour for a hobby, right? So they might say, well, here's $5, right? I'd like to do more, but I can't, you know, for one reason or another. Or, you know, just say, thanks for your time, hit the like button. You know, that's fine too, right? Just anything. Because trust me, I've been there. I'm almost back to that now, where I'm just, things are so thin. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe how tight it is. Not only having one photo job in 8 weeks, that's pretty rough. Yeah, 2021, I got to do better than that. Roman says magnetics is boring. I cannot believe I wasted 6.5 years to do crappy PhD in magnetics. Would be much better to do anything else. Yeah, that's because nobody knows what magnetics is, right? I didn't know you had a PhD in magnetics. I know you knew physics, but I didn't know it was specifically in magnetics. I would think magnetics would be so interesting, Roman. It's just crazy to me that you can put two magnets together and one will float, you know, like anti-gravity. Man, do something with that. You should be like a freaking multi-billionaire. Invent some kind of anti-gravity thing with magnetics. I don't know. I just feel like if I knew it's that much, I would figure something out. And Chuck, if you get a quality UV, you will see no difference in your photos. That's true. That's true. I mean, buy a quality filter. And Randy says, Joe Edelman is quite the Olympus shooter. He is. He is. No hoods. Are you editing today? Yes, I am. I think I set it for 4 o'clock. I gave myself a little more buffer this time between streams because I'm always pushed right to the last minute, and then I'm starting the next stream late. I just wanted to give myself a little buffer today. The naysayers call poo-poo me all they want, but they'll continue using my quality UV filters that I can chuck anytime and get a new one instead of trashing the coating on an expensive lens. Yeah, when I was shooting my Nikon, I did put UV glass, like good UV glass, on my wide angle lenses because, you know, the front elements are like this big. And it's, you know, they were $800-900 lenses. So you just put like a $50 UV filter on there and you're good to go. I don't do that with any of my Olympus glass because I do dumb things like leave them out in the rain. This lens is a total loss. Is it dry yet? I think it's dry. Maybe I should... What I'll do is on Sunday when I have my next stream, I got to put this lens back together. I'll put it on my camera and see if it works. I'll do that in the next stream. It probably won't. I'm sure the electronics are all screwed. Okay, Randy, I'll check for that. And Jeff says, there's a guy here in the UK called Andy Rouse. He's a great wildlife photographer and he does pay for Zooms and one-on-one sessions. Yes. Yeah, see, that's a guy that a lot of you should go to if you need professional help. You know, my Zoom calls would be like, you know, how to format your memory card, how to attach your lens, what is aperture priority versus shutter priority, you know, those kind of questions, right? Beginner type questions. Not like taking really hard photography like wildlife. That's hard. And Seraphin says he has to replace his UV filters every year because of scratches. I believe it. And Adam Favors here. Hi. Howdy. Magnetics, attraction, yes. And John Langford, my only video is 1.5 million views. Are you serious? Do you have a channel? Let me click on your name and see. I don't even know how to get to you. Hold on. Wow, there's a lot of John Langfords, but the one guy is a musician. But that could be you. Here's John Langford. Well, he's got more than one video. Ramblin' Man. Oh, he does covers. I gotta get back to playing guitar. Uh-oh. And Rick is asking, did you ever get around to putting your waterlogged lens on a hot radiator to dry it out? Yeah, it's dry now. I just need to put it back together. The water is all gone. I just have to put the screws back in. I opened it up so it might dry a little faster. And then all of these washers came, ooh, I'm not gonna touch that. All these little tiny washers, you know, came out. So good luck getting that back together and aligned and getting it to focus. Even if the electronics are good, it's not gonna focus right. And that was on the OMD M5 Mark II. Huh. All right, let me do another search for John. Now that I have a little more data. John Langford, OM-D, E-M5 Mark II. Nope. You're still not coming up. My video's there. Look at this. So when I type in John Langford OMD M5 Mark II, I get David Thorpe, and then Peter number 2, Peter number 3, Red 35, Jimmy Chang, right? Number 4. So all of these guys outrank DP Review or Camera Store. This is when they were Camera Store. And then my video, yay, robtrek. I got 27,000 views on mine. Let's see what everybody else got. 277,000 views for David Thorpe. 23,000 for Peter. Another 51,000 for Peter. Jimmy Chang got 86,000 views on his EM5 Mark II. And then, of course, Camera Store got 389,000. And here I am at a measly 27,000. Here's another one from Peter, 46,000, 191,000. Anyway, look at my dumb face in this thumbnail. I gotta change that. Look like an idiot. Anyway, I was live streaming, wasn't I? I feel like I'm just watching videos now. I thought you started to read my PhD at least. Yes, I did. You had the matrix dialogue in the beginning, right? And then you started talking about magnetics in there. I skimmed it. I didn't really read it. Ugh. And then Dave Nelson says, I can't believe they have a magnetic levitating stream and then a 30-minute stream alert. Yes. And Adam Favor says, only issue I ever had with cheap UV filters are reflections for emergency responder lights. Even quality Hoya ones at times have that issue. Yeah. That lens needs a coffee filter now. Take a few pics with it. I might. If we're talking about my broken 12 to 40. We'll see. I have the expensive ones now and occasionally achieve the reflections. Yeah. About the screw-on UV filters. And John Langford says, I dropped a Nikon 20 to 200 f2.8 onto the floor from a trunk of a car. The filter saved the lens. Wow. That's awesome. And hey, you are live. I might ask you now, can Olympus OMD EM10 Mark III use its hot shoe for an adapter for the 3.5mm jack? No, not the Mark III. The original EM10 Mark I had, I believe, that I forget, that little port right underneath the hot shoe to add in. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like my PL8 still has it. There's a little port here. The EM10 Mark III doesn't have this. But this adapter, this is the SEMA. SEMA 1. No, it's an EMA. EMA 1 adapter from Olympus. It only works with cameras that have this port. And Olympus stopped putting the ports on a long time ago. Which is too bad. It was a nice little add-on. Oh, Seraphin, it makes you sad to see that lens ruined. Yeah. I'm a little sad. When I looked at the retail price, like $1,000, right? And then it's on sale now for like $800. I'm like, holy crap. I just ruined like an $800 lens. I mean, I paid $700 for it used when I bought it, which is, you know, a couple years ago. Maybe 3 years ago. So I've gotten my money's worth out of it, but yeah, damn, right? This is expensive. This lens. But they sell used now for about $500. So that's still too much. I don't think I really need another lens like this. Yeah, I know you talked about leaning it on the side, but it was already too late. The water had already dried on some of the elements. So leaning it on the side wouldn't have made a difference. By the time, you know, I don't know if it would have made a difference, honestly, at all. There was so much water in here. What I should have done is put it on the radiator right away and dry it out quickly like you recommended. But the fact that I let it sit out or go and put it in the refrigerator, did dumb things like that with it first, it dried out like in steps, and other parts didn't dry out but a little bit, and then I got spots everywhere. Yeah, it's gone. Andy Ross, fantastic shots of lions and tigers. Okay, John Langford of the Meccans. It's a question. And Des says he never has to clean his lens. Really? And Dave says, I'm not just a cover listener. I'll take something that is tasty that I have never heard over a hot cover any day. You know, covers are fine sometimes. I think, and we're talking about people that sing, you know, covers for hit songs and things like that. Stephen Page says, a very popular name, John Langford. Okay, yeah, I guess. It sounds familiar. And then Rick says, a wetting agent, to get some wetting agent into the water that's inside the lens, a single drop of washing soap diluted in 2 liters of water should do it. Wetting agents make water wetter. So you're saying I should re-soak my lens with soap water? Dishwater? I don't know. Those 27,000 views are all high quality views. Oh, that's from back when we were looking at. Yeah, but look at over how long versus the views, Rob. Yeah. Yeah, their videos are much older, but still, in 5 years, my video will never get 300,000 views. And Stephen Page is asking, what's the best replacement battery for OMD? You are one of the best for explaining how those Olympus cameras, how to use the... Yeah, thank you, Jeff. And Stephen, yeah, I always recommend you get the original Olympus battery. Those are going to be the best. Anything else, I have not found one that is anywhere near as good as the original. Not even close. You know, people have said that the Watson, WATSON batteries are good. And they're about half the cost of the Olympus originals, but I'd still recommend getting originals. You know, I have a lot of generic batteries because I bought a charger, and for like $1 more you can get a couple of generic batteries. Sometimes, you know, sometimes for the same price you can buy 2 batteries, or you can get 2 batteries and a charger for the same price. So I buy the charger and I just get the batteries in. But the generic batteries are not, they don't last long when you're out in the field, number one, and they die sooner. I've thrown away many generic batteries because they wouldn't charge anymore, or they start to swell up. You know, I just chuck them. And then other batteries, you know, like this is a generic battery that I need to chuck. I put a big X on it, and because it started to swell a little bit. And so, you know, at Best Buy they have like a battery recycling place. I just haven't gone. I need to put these together. I think there's another one. But anyway, you get the idea. If you want to know what the best is, it's always the Olympus originals. Lauren says, Rob, just do what Chelsea and Tony did in the beginning. Make Ellie the star of the show. Everyone loves the dog. Yeah, Ellie's just too hyper for me to get any footage of her. And Seraphin says, the M1 had that annoying port. I really didn't like it. Yeah, it's great on the Pen PL8 though. This was my vlog camera for a long time. Oh my God, you know, Casey over there at Camera Conspiracies, he finally bought the 12mm 2.0 lens from Olympus, right? He got it used from somebody for 300 bucks. And I told that guy at least 2 years ago, you know, to buy the 12mm f2 lens, you know? And now he's bought it and he loves it, right? In his some video, I guess Lauren sent me an email to some video I watched this morning where he was using that lens. And I'm like, I told him 2 years ago in the comments on one of his videos, I said, you know, get the 12mm 2.0. That's what I use for vlogging, right? That was my go-to setup, was this camera and the 12mm f2 lens. The frickin' lens cost twice as much as the camera. But it was the perfect vlogging combination. Then the little mic jack adapter, right? I wanted to go in the comments section and say, I told you to buy that lens 2 years ago. But he has it now, so what's the point of me going in and say I told you so? Never tell the wife how much you spend. So true. And Dave says, do you think Olympus will give a famous YouTuber a good deal on a refresh of a lens? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. You know, Olympus is not really, like, I don't think they give lenses away. They just give them out on loan to try. And, you know, one famous YouTuber we all know is Fro Knows Photo, right? And he just did a terrible, uh, I wouldn't say terrible. He didn't like the camera or the lenses, nothing, you know. He was not impressed at all. But he had the best review, in my opinion. Because Olympus was going for professional photographers that are using full frame cameras. And I'm like, well, okay, you know, give it to, if you gave one to Fro Knows Photo, and if you can convert Fro Knows Photo to Micro Four Thirds, then you have a winner on your hands. Otherwise, you're just asking for it, you know. And that's what happened. Fro gave it to us, right? Or gave it to Olympus and said, there's no bokeh, the noise is awful, you know, Micro Four Thirds sucks, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, Olympus, I mean, so they have given on loan, I think, camera and gear to big YouTubers, but in the wrong way. You know, they should give it to people like, and they do, like Jimmy and Peter, but big tubers like 1 million plus subscribers. I don't know who they would be. But that would be, the problem is there's so many great photographers out there that shoot Micro Four Thirds, but they don't do YouTube, right? And it just seems, and if they do, it's like they're terrible at it. So, you know, if I had the skill set of some of these photographers, these visionaries and ambassadors, whatever you want to call them, my God, you know, and then the personality of like Fro or somebody else, I don't know, you know, to get 1 million subscribers or a beautiful wife like Tony and Chelsea, man, if I had a beautiful wife I could bring on to my channel, I'd probably have double the subscribers. Because, you know, it's not just the looks, but it's about the dynamics of having to talk to somebody, right? In real time, in a video. Like Chris and Jordan, you know, that dynamic of them talking to each other always makes for more interesting videos. And that's what I really need as a partner, right? To have that dialogue or dynamic. And Adam Favor says, I appreciate what you do and how you do it. Change for you, not for others. Not sure what you mean, change for you, not for others. Okay, I got 10 minutes to my next stream, so I'm going to just skim through the last ones. Rob, do you think Olympus would give a oh, sorry, I just read that one. And we need to buy you coffee to replace that lens. That'd be a lot of freaking coffee, but yeah, this is a good time to take a commercial break for robtrek. And, you know, if you'd like to support the channel, you know, you can buy me a coffee at the link down over here, or you can, I got PayPal links if you want to donate directly, or you can do a super chat, you know, whatever's easiest. Every little bit helps right now, especially. But it's not required. I'm happy to do it and be here. It's good for me too to be here and talking to people instead of just binging on Netflix, you know, or something. It's all under the bridge. Yes. I doubt you could have saved the lens. I know, Adam. Buy cheap, you buy twice. Yep. I think we're referring to the batteries, right? I think Rob could power Tesla with all the old batteries he has in storage. I know I have a lot of batteries, but I do recycle them. Pity the lens is dry and you could not have another live stream. All right, and last bit. Problem is I kept losing the covers for that port in EM1 that keeps the water resistance. So, oh, I see. That's why you didn't like that little port. Okay, I understand now. John Langford says, question, can you use the OMD as a camera for Zoom meetings? Yes, I'm using the EM1 Mark II right now. Is there a time limit before they get too hot? I'm talking about 2 to 3 hour meetings. Yeah, don't worry. I've gone 3+ hours on this. I've gone 4 hours on my EM1 Mark II. Because it's the only one that has a battery that'll last long enough. It'll last about 3 hours, give or take, on one battery. But I usually swap at about 1.5 hours because usually my streams go about 4 hours. But I've never had an Olympus overheat. And yes, we are definitely a niche, Randy. If I want a beautiful wife, you can organize one for my Rand. They cook great and look good, yes. One of my agents is for my Rand. My clients, I should say. He's a commercial real estate agent. His beautiful wife, and Barry says, gotta go shortly, so thanks, Ralph, for all your help and advice in 2020. Happy New Year to you and everyone. Yes, Happy New Year, Barry. Thanks for coming in. And Rick says, dictionary definition of Nikon, popular bodybuilding and weightlifting equipment manufacturer. Yes. And listen to Roman K about Iranian women. Oh, yes, I know. Definitely. That's the one thing about living in the D.C. area here in the United States. I live near Washington, D.C. It's very, very diverse. So I see all internationalities all the time. Randy says, Thailand girls are awesome. Yes. I dated a girl from Thailand. And happy 2021 and Happy New Year from Jeff Langford, Jeff Painter. Lauren, too close to the altar, I would... I ran too. Oh my God. Lauren. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get married again. But, all right, everyone. You guys have a wonderful, happy New Year. I will be back on Sunday for another photo chat. And, you know, I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, especially today on New Year's Eve, to spend it with me. I really appreciate that. So thanks again for joining me today, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.